Good morning.
Morning, morning.
What's going on?
Looks like we're up 110, three trades, three winners.
And I
You
got
got the low.
schooled on the NASDAQ. Got this.
You got schooled on the NASDAQ. What'd you do?
Well, was coiling and then had this little foray down here. I probably should have kept the wider stop, but
That's all right.
comes right back.
Of course. It's got to be a midpoint. You can't no midpoint trades. Got to be lower band trades.
Yeah, I figured with the phenomenal employment numbers that are going on,
Sure.
as factory orders and all these other things are showing contraction, I'm sure there's so much hiring going on, right?
Exactly. Looks like we got a pretty good little push on the carry trade, huh?
Yeah, it was unwinding all the. It's been behind. So the crude trades. Here's one. Here's two. Here's three. I missed it by a tick. I just took like 5. So I like that as a longer term. And then this was number 2, but missed it.
You cray. It's all right. We got others. Typically, we see about 11 trades a day there on crude.
Yeah.
So
This would be technically 1. I don't know. I mean, it seemed when you look at a 5-minute chart, we'll go through the charts.
Extended.
Well, that's
Yeah, we're extended.
there's a 4-hour. We're kind of back into this mix. It's a lot of conflict there. When you look at, you've got the downslope and the upslope. We'll cover all the different systems for the new people in a little bit. I mean, it looks like it could test a little bit lower, but
Yeah, I'm pretty bearish actually on the crude.
there's Baker Hughes rig count is at 1 Eastern.
Okay.
That's been a big mover lately. Really
Yes,
big.
it has. Yes, it has.
S&P. I don't know if it makes a high today, but it's definitely more constructive compared to the NASDAQ.
Sure. Financials must be doing good, huh?
I haven't checked yet, but we'll go through that. Let me get that fired up. The laser.
Exactly.
Just a slow climb up, right?
Slow and steady. It's what they do. I mean, they got the lack of volatility in the broad indices, man. I mean, they're just take their sweet time. They take their sweet time.
We'll go
Pretty
through the
constructive
NASDAQ.
bearish pattern on pretty constructive bearish pattern on
Crude.
crude too, actually. Yeah.
I was waiting for the lower high, but I'll go through this real quick. Daily. If any of the new people have questions, just feel free to put it in the box. So I'll go through, actually the S&P's kind of, we'll start with crude. So what we look at is we have kind of a layered approach, a matrix, if you will, of different trading systems. And then what we do is we actually we have systems of systems. So we're basically looking at multiple different systems at the same time to trigger. and obviously to do market analysis, we go and start out at higher time frames. And this blue line is the midpoint. If as you come through, it might be hard to see, but the blue line is the midpoint of the price action of what you're seeing on the chart. The gold bands are a type of statistical standard deviation. It's not your standard kind. It's actually a more mathematical version. So what you're looking is if it gets above, it's extremely stretched, and if it gets below, it's stretched to the downside. We also have a shorter time frame, same system in red, and that is this should be number 2 coming. And crude. I know you're bearish.
Let's look.
Well,
yeah, I mean, overall, I think we're still pretty extended, but I mean, we do have an uptrend, so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out
actually,
here.
let me think. That was 1.
No, it's 2.
I don't know.
You took 2, 1, 2. Oh, you're right. It is 1.
No, it'll be number 1. Sorry.
Yeah.
So especially in this case, when you see the gold band is the higher time frame down, the red up, you're going to have conflict. Well, look at the chart. It's like an EKG, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's definitely showing conflict. We go into the 1 hour. It's kind of the same. Gold is up, red is down, showing conflict. This kind of sawtooth pattern in this area. Also, we have these arrows. So this is a different system, 8 different pieces to it to make an arrow. And then so what we're looking to do is the best trades are any of the arrows either near or below the band. I mean, it happens probably more often in the S&P, but the buy system is the buy of this bar. And so when you look at selling, a sell above that is a great signal. Sometimes I want to just get short and then wait for a buy, right? Anchored. I was looking at selling at that 45s above the Bollinger.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I was coming into the room, I saw that at 36 and was thinking to take that short, which would have been the trade. But because overall, I'm still bearish. This is going to retest those lows here.
Seems like it. So those are, you look here. You don't want to take trades that are below the blue for the sells. For the I prefer ones closer to the band, or Andrew likes the lower high ones like this one here.
Yeah. The second
one that's lower is a
higher,
short.
Yeah.
Right, lower high. S&P, even though it's downsloping, it's still, we go in the higher time frames. We're in I would call it a bubble now, 5-year bubble.
Yeah.
If you look at the weekly chart, monthly chart, kind of looks like a rocket ship taking off. So as you go down the time frames, well, you like to buy below. So what we're doing is putting ourselves into a high probability trade. So I'll put the repetition on. What we're looking at also by using these bands is to be as close to the market as possible. The same concept if you're driving in the woods at night. And all you need to do is see what's in front of your headlights. You don't need to see a deer 2 miles ahead, because it'll be gone by the time you're. I don't know if this is one or not, but it looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, I like it. See if we can get it pulled back a little bit.
17. Yeah, it seems like lately you can get. So the idea is that if you stay close to the market, especially, I mean, we pretty much, I think, the anchor time frame we're using is the 1 hour. I mean, I kind of like the 4, but for what we're doing in the room, use the 1 hour is kind of our anchor. And then you go down to the 15, and the 5 or the 1 will give you your entry. So ultimately, we just need to stay close to the market. If long term it's bullish, short term it gets bearish, we'll take trades long outside those bands. And then also you have the the different pairs that we follow, which I'll cover in a minute. I could see it's actually starting to move.
My data feed's frozen. I'm still sitting in 19s.
No, it's frozen. The market's not moving. It's at 17. It did that this morning. I was like, really? So dead. After 9.
No, my chart is literally frozen now.
Oh, okay. We're trading 13,
Literally.
so it's kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
So basically follow the S&P and NASDAQ. The S&P 500 is here. NASDAQ 100 is here. Crude oil. The way we look at different markets, it gives us a little bit of, you always hear the old school, like diversification. So I think you just restart. We're trading 11, so you're fine. You miss.
Yeah, I got it. I got it now.
I don't know. I'm trying to look at that other one technically from, it's just a mango. I think that was actually one.
Yeah.
So the idea of being diversified, well, people think, well, I'll buy Apple and I'll buy Microsoft and I'll buy AT&T. Well, you're not diversified at all. Kind of getting a move on crude. So what we
it broke that support.
We look to trade different markets. What market's moving the best? What market is the hot market, as you would say? By trading futures, we're able to be in the most liquid markets in the world. So if crude's moving, we're in crude.
That's my baby.
There's also something called the carry trade. It's the US dollar versus the yen. You'll see here's a weekly chart. Pretty much mirrors the S&P 500. Well, it's out of whack today pretty good. If you could see in the room, Andrew.
Yeah, I was noticing that.
It's way...
Pretty good spread trade. What's causing that?
I'm still in the camp that that's one of those artificial constraints that they need to crack down on.
Yeah. Pizza delivery boys here.
Yeah, delivery. I think they're trying to get one of the supports in the market. We'll go to a daily. You can see the S&P in black and the yen in red. The yen has been dragging the market up and supporting it. Now, the reason why is that with the Bank of Japan doing their own quantitative easing, which is money printing. So they print money and then they lend that out at 0% basically. And so institutions end up being able to get that capital and basically lever it up. Since they're doing it in trillions of yen, comes into billions of dollars, they really the only markets you could put it in is the U.S. Treasuries and the S&P 500 that's liquid enough to handle that.
Yes, sir. And just remember, everybody, we're going to be the trading room in half an hour after the close. So in 45 or in an hour and 15 minutes, we'll be going into our training. So it'll be on this. I'm getting Dave the room right now, so he can get you the information for it. It's going to be and trying to think what time zone it's using. Okay, so it's going to use mine. So I think you guys will find today's lesson pretty awesome. Perfect. We get the information for the room. All right. No, we don't use Fibonacci's. Fibonacci's are subjective to the individual.
It's like artwork.
Yeah.
You look at a Jackson Pollock painting, and my kid, when she was 4, did a better picture, right? So it's all in subject. There's too much interpretation. Same thing with LA Wave. But if you're good at it and you see it and it fits your suitability, go for it.
Yep, I've taught fibs for 10 years, and I have maybe met 2 or 3 people that can actually draw them correctly. Let's just say that.
I've never met a trader that uses them as their number one.
No, you can't.
Their number one kind of tool.
Yeah, can't.
And that was successful.
Ooh.
A little late.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna hit it, but I didn't know if you didn't want to double hit it.
Ooh.
Got your lasers going.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna adjust my stop, my take profits though. They're sitting at that's a sell limit, correct?
Sell stop SS. You want to change your stop? Oh, you want to limit it differently?
There you go.
Then you want to sell.
We're good.
SL.
Yeah, we're good. I got it.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Looking for 15s here. Trade no 8s, 9s, so we're 6 away. See if we can't just get one little solid push here. Get this to round out our trade. 03s was our number, so system triggered a little bit later than normal, but still got it. Nice little push there. Traded 13s for just a split second. So you can see it. We've been in this trade for 2 minutes. Haven't been in a drawdown. We've been, I mean, the worst we've been. I mean, now we're down $10, but I mean, ideally break even on this. It's a good spot. See if it holds these lows here. Sometimes what you'll do is you'll get these little, re-triggers or retraces of the previous little movements before it starts to build back higher. It's looking a little weak though. Would have had our 10 though if we would have had our stops in the right, or our trigger in the right spot for entry, but We'll see. Pretty extended on a 5 minutes of the downside.
Nah, it was 03 to 11. It
Didn't trigger.
Would have made 10.
Still heavy, huh?
Sure is.
Yeah, it holds these lows here.
I don't think it will. Look at the stock market.
Market's crashing.
I wouldn't call that crashing, but it does sometimes look like it when we're zeroed in on a 1 minute chart like this.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think it's deflating to go with the deflation theme. I mean, really, you could feel it in the marketplace. I don't know. I'm a natural tape watcher, which means I look at the actual price action. And you could just see about how the snappiness of the market is gone, except in crude. And even that, I mean, it used to be 2-3 weeks ago, it had monster ranges. Now it seems pretty. Yeah, we have our dollar spikes here and there, but
yeah, you're not getting average trading range of $5 and $6 anymore like you were.
Well, even you see, I mean, so we put out our profit targets based on our systems to make based on the market volatility. So if it changes, the volatility picks up, we pick up that. If the market volatility comes in, then we reduce it. So ultimately, this actually could be a 5-minute turn buy coming on a longer term.
Yep, I'm aware.
But it's what I'm talking about. Like, typically signals off a bounce like this, you would get, this is only 35 cents if you look at getting it at 50.
Yeah.
Off a big down move with the unemployment numbers and everything, and you got that little bounce. It's kind of anemic.
Yeah. Still weak.
It is.
Still weak. It'll follow through on that bounce. See if it can still come though. I mean, like you said, if we're still 5 minutes return buy here on a larger time frame, so that'll obviously give us some momentum in our direction. Trading the midpoint of both current and previous on our candles. We've got a higher low, we've got an equal high. Kind of our key level now is going to be the 50-10 value. See if we can get that to break. So
Just doesn't seem like it has it,
Nah, it doesn't have it.
Monster dollar move today upward, so I think crude should be, I guess it's down close to $1.
Yep.
I think you got
But
stocks.
you can see how we have predefined risk, though, which is the keys to trading is at this point duration risk. I'm just looking back for an 05 break even on this, even though it could possibly still give us our trade. We've been in it longer than we've anticipated being, so getting it back to the 05 levels is
yeah,
50,
typically
05.
that signal should have blasted out of there after that.
Yeah.
And this sell-off here, I think, kind of beat it up. Got the S&P pressing the lows now, too.
Going to risk management. Duration risk is a real risk.
That's your first high or low. Not that that's meaning much.
Not yet.
Well, in a 1 minute. There goes the dollar.
It's not confirmed yet.
I'll put the euro back up here. Not playing along.
Nope. I see this thing elevator down too when it takes out that support.
It's on every support. It's just the 4-hour. 4-hour support's at 46.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Got a ways to go
$4.
down, yeah. Got to follow our system, though. Got to follow our rules.
I think it looks like it could be a classic double bottom, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Need help
It's
from
not turning yet on a 5-minute, so.
No. No, sir. The VIX is upticking. So if you can see, we follow the volatility index. This is an ETF of it, but when the VIX is going up, let me go to a daily chart. Shrink this down. Can I do that? So when the VIX is going down, the stock market's going up, and it does seem to be making a bottoming pattern. So all-time highs. If this were to bounce up, that would be pretty bearish. I think based on also how bonds have been moving. Bonds got beat up today. God, didn't. Maybe the euro help you out? Get a rally on that? Nope. Can't believe a 108. Look at that. Second it tried to pick its head up, it gets whacked down.
Yeah.
There he goes
Chris
again.
trying to.
It's a big
Yeah,
push for the
Chris
dollar right now.
That correlation is no longer valid, right?
I think depending on the day, I think alternating days sometimes. It seems so random, but there are days where it works and days that it doesn't. Let's go back to the spread charts. We're constantly looking at multiple different ways of making trading decisions and market analysis. If you just sat and said, well, I've got one trick pony, you're pretty much going to be toast in this business.
Yeah.
As I've said before, you're fighting against guys with billions of dollars. So if you want to be consistent and successful over the long term, you have to look at different ways. So this is a spread chart. The candlesticks, if you're familiar with candlesticks, the way a candle is formed, you have the open, the high. Let me get one with wicks in it. It open and closed is the solid part of the candle, and then the wick is the actual trading range. So open here, rallied all the way to here, and closed here on this particular candle.
Yep.
So this is the U.S. dollar index, and then crude oil is the red. So you can see since oil and all commodities are priced in dollars. God, you just take whatever you can get on this one, or you think it's going to blast off? So you can see that when the dollar goes down, oil goes up, and they kind of go back and forth. Where if you look back here, let me slide this to here. They'll come together as a spread trade also. As of right now, we're having a pretty massive dollar move. So really oil could really go back down here, 44. No dice. Is that a new low? Looks like it. Are you on mute?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Sorry. I was just saying the overall system, it took you out in the right spot because where we're trading now versus our stop, we're trading 10 handles lower, so it worked perfectly. Good call on that with the looking at the euro though. Perfect. Got to let our systems trade though.
It's 57% of the dollar index, so, and it's definitely on the hot seat.
Yeah. See if that was the washout though.
Well, based on the pattern, it should have definitely cratered a good 20, 30 cents and didn't.
Yep.
Let's move the VIX back on here.
83s.
We'll go through stocks while we're at it.
Yep.
So that's the NASDAQ 100. So the way I look at it is relative strength. So you've got the NASDAQ, S&P. So it's a 5-minute. Wait, is this? Yeah, 5-minute. It's kind of looking ugly all of a sudden on stocks.
Is it?
The interest rates are weighing on it. So that's the S&P. Here's the Dow. Kind of held its bottom. And then here's the NASDAQ. There's that volatility index, which kind of testing near the high for the day. So then what I do is you kind of make mental markers like we're testing the lows here, and then you start going through. We go through Apple. Apple's pretty strong today.
Got to add it to the Dow. You got all those Dow funds that have to buy it.
Right. Poor Amazon. Not looking pretty much matching the market. Alibaba's pretty quiet, although I had a decent rally the last few days. Then I look at the bigger tech. Cisco, Microsoft, wow. Oracle, all day lows. IBM, hang in there. Let's go to the banks. Bank of America, selling off a little bit, but they're still doing all right. Goldman Sachs. And JP Morgan did a megaphone today.
Did it? Mighty megaphone, huh?
Sure did. High yield credit. That's been beat up lately. Let's look at a daily on that. It's kind of a snail. There was starting to be a few weeks ago the angst about the credit issues that are going on, and then it's kind of passed, although now we're starting a downtick. We'll see if we break this 90 level. It's basically junk bonds. Actually, let me put JNK. Pretty similar, junk bond index. Or ETF, I'm sorry. Oil. There's rig, bouncing a little bit. Let's see, Valero, refinery, and then ExxonMobil. We've got Visa. Hold on a second.
So what Dave's doing is he's looking at what they refer to as best of breed. So kind of the best stocks in the market kind of are going to correlate back to their sectors, and then they're going to correlate from there back to the different broad indices. So if you've got certain things, if you understand the S&P is made up of two primary sectors, which is going to be the oil and financials. So you kind of get a gauge for what's driving what, how the markets are moving as a whole relative to the general price action. So those are just some of the things that we pay attention to, as well as looking at individual stocks, the VIX, see what the VIX is doing, some of that stuff.
The high flyers, the LinkedIn, Netflix, Priceline. The Twitter. They all seem to be doing all right.
Yeah.
Testing a day high on the VIX, so we'll see.
Yeah.
The oil stocks, oil service seem all right. Here's Halliburton. Not as good as Rig. Schlumberger.
Yep.
We're near the day low.
I used to think it was Slumberger.
Schlumberger.
Slumberger.
I mean, that's how it's spelled, so.
Yeah.
I think it is Schlumberger, seriously.
Exactly. Getting a little bit of a turn here on crude. So we were just a little early to dance on that other trade, but we're back in. So we're up pretty good. We'll adjust our stop to break even in just a second here.
Right.
So stop actually needs to go to 92. Now. That's why you got to stick with your systems. Now all of a sudden we're going to break out here and take out those highs.
It's interesting how it's the stock market's pushing lower and it's crude's rallying.
Yep.
Some of the questions, if the trade's going your way, we stay longer. Oh, definitely. I mean, remember right now we're taking selective buy signals because we're near the bottom band, but it's definitely in the short term right now bearish in crude. So we're just trying to look to catch those little low risk, high reward probability trades and just catch those for the little ones. Now we've had, what was the one trade? What you caught, the like 70-cent move?
I caught 80 cents in about 3 minutes.
So we also look at duration risk. So if you're in a trade and could, you know, we had a trade trigger here and got out, you know, could you hold it for a longer period of time and had it go up? But then where do you sell? Do you have a different profit target? What happens if this came out and then with some of the different news that's been out lately with oil, it moves aggressively and it broke to new lows?
Yeah.
So you turn a winner into a loser. So the idea, what we're trying to do is, in general, 10 trades a day. Obviously, it can be more than that. We have multiple different systems, but 10 trades a day at 10 cents a trade is $1,000.
Not a bad living.
$1,000 times 20 trading days is $20,000 a month. Now we understand that not every day is a winning day, not every trade is a winner. So you cut that in half, you come to $10,000 in a month. That's trading 1 lots of futures. So the idea is that ultimately, once you go and become a professional trader, you're going to be trading 5 lots, which you do the math on that. It's definitely, you know, $10,000 to $50,000 possible per month. But if you're trading 5s and 10s as a professional trader, you're on this the whole time. It's not turn it on and go to the beach. So if you want to put a little effort into it, you can do it and keep keep trading 1 lots. It's fine. But if you really want to get on this and be a professional trader.
Yeah.
So you have the application that's putting in the trades. But like I said, there are times where the API, which is the connection, so I can put, where's our little crude? So here's our crude trade. Here's our long one. We're up $150 on the day for it, up 80 in the current trade. The stop has now been moved to lock in a guaranteed profit on this trade. So this is a free trade. No matter what, if it hits a stop, you made money. If it really starts to go and hits a higher target, then you've got more money. So
we're just got some consolidation at those 08s.
If we can get this S&P to turn up, it should, or the euro. So you can see here, this is an actual trade. I want to see if I can get. Guess I'd have to do it off.
There we go.
Offline.
Good push.
You gonna get it?
Yeah, we'll get it. That's a coil break of the previous. Got it. This is the 5. You got your 5-minute turn by there. We're gonna take it though.
Yeah, I was gonna say missed it by 2 ticks, right?
Yeah, it's all good. That
were
trade there, we were long at 95. We got out at 11, so made 150 on it.
Right.
So duration risk, we were. From the time we got in, at one point at the low, we were down $30. We were in that trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. So that's what we look for. Ideally, we like to be. We would have made our 10 cents in the 4-minute range. Like we had our 10 cents, but we were looking for a larger move. This is the move we were looking for. We saw this move coming. We had just gotten in early on the previous movement, thinking that this was going to be moved. So one thing you'll find with Dave and I, when you come into the room and listen to us, we know exactly where the market's going. It's like, it's even like that stop out loser we had. Dave's like, you're going to get stopped out. we knew already. And a lot of people would just say, well, why don't you guys, why didn't you exit early? And the truth is, no one can predict 20 minutes ahead. We have a pretty good sense of what things are going to do.
I think the best thing is that as a professional trader and as a prudent trader, you have your system, you stick to it, you get stopped out, great. Market kept going and doing what you thought it was going to do, got right back in right here.
I got back in at a better price.
That is the hardest trade possible to do, to get in a trade, stop out, and then get in. Well, no, I'm serious. What else is harder?
Not for me.
Well, you're a pro, man. Come on. To get in a trade, stop out and get back in and win is a great trade.
Yeah, the hardest thing for me is when I'm up huge, I'm down, I'm up, or I get back to break even and then I lose. That's the worst. That psychology is the worst.
So you could see the software is putting in, he was modifying the stops on that. The software triggers the trade. The trade went in. Where is my? just so everyone can see how this whole thing works, right?
Yeah, and you can see my exit relative to where we were. I mean, we got out at 11s. Yeah, we did impulse up 16s, but now we're trading 09s.
Right.
So
8 bid. So you can see here.
This is actually a sell short signal here in just a second, believe it or not.
The trade at 11:02. That's Eastern time. 11:02 and wait, what's the 11:02 and 41 seconds, which is comes out in because they're all in Central Time, so 10:02 and 41 seconds, same timestamp. You can see. So the trade hit on the application and it put it into the trading firm, and then automatically put the stops and targets. We'll put all in, so you can see at there's the buy, there's the stop, and the limit was automatically put in at the same time. So you bought at 41 seconds, stop and limit. What are you making, martinis?
I'm making my punch.
Oh, okay. Just kidding.
You know me, man.
It's 4 o'clock in London. So there's exactly how the software automatically puts in the trade, puts your stop in, puts your limit in, and then you can see.
We're about to get a trigger short, actually.
In crude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trade outside the band, second retrigger, right? 07s.
No,
Yeah,
yes, we are very patient, and we are not emotional traders. No, and that's the whole point. So even expert traders and can get emotional, and so the key is both being systemized and also being disciplined with, keeping everybody in check.
Yeah, I will tell you. I know this is probably going to come out right, but I can tell you, having been trading for a long time, you do get to a point where, from an emotional standpoint, that it actually carries over to other areas of your life, because you learn through trading how to shut those emotions off.
Right.
And I'll tell you, it causes problems in relationships, because you're just like, at some level, you're like, it's not that you don't care, it's just you've learned to just desensitize yourself to emotional situations. Does that make sense?
So you can see here at 11:18, which would be 10:18. There you go. There's the sell. There's the fill at the firm. There's your price, and then the stops and targets are put in automatically for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going for the gusto here? 20?
No, that's just how the system is currently running because of the volatility.
Got it. So that's that's in a nutshell how it works. Yeah. So you can go back at the end of the day and look and see all the trades. So you can see where we bought, where we sold. You can review, match it up with your training manuals. What are we going to call it? Novel.
Yeah.
Ooh, new low in stocks.
Like to see crude here push these lows.
I'd like to see crude trade like the S&P.
Yeah.
All right. No fooling around here, S&P today. I wonder if this rig count is going to be less than expected and get a big rally in crude. Because it's definitely strong compared to the market.
Yeah.
Or is it just going to plummet right now?
It's just going to plummet.
That's the attitude.
Especially when you're short. The other side of it too is when you're a trader like Dave and I are, we were long a trade here, less than 20 minutes ago we were long. We got out and now we're short because of our systems.
Right.
And I would put myself, and I'd put that whole idea up to anybody. I know very, very few traders that can flip positions and be profitable on both sides. Normally when most guys flip positions, they're not profitable on both sides.
Right.
They're doing it as an emotional, well, I was wrong that direction. Now if I go the other direction, I should be right.
Right.
And that's just not the mindset that you have here with this.
Slow and steady, right? Keep chipping away, building our foundation one brick at a time, 10 cents, which is $100.
Well, volatility's increased, so we're seeing larger.
Just seems it gets to that low, and it's definitely bid. I know you're waiting for the plunge, but
yeah.
Maybe just take
my $30. We'll see. I want to see how this closes in relationship to that move and to the trigger.
There's definitely bidders down there.
Yep. Made $10.
Nice.
There you go. But no, look at that candle on a 5-minute though. I mean, that candle is a huge reversal candle.
I'm still not seeing. I'm looking on the NASDAQ. I'm not seeing what's the. I guess it's Amazon. I mean, Apple's up. I guess it's big tech. Google.
Getting a push here on crude now. Let's see it take out those highs.
Somebody keeps bidding it. I mean, it's Baker Hughes, for God's sakes. If that number's not leaked, then this isn't America, right?
So true, so true. Dirty little rascals.
Rascals.
Yep.
But they have that on Daily FX now. It's on their calendar. I've never seen it on there, and I saw it this week. Just because it's been moving so huge lately.
Yes, we do trade the London and Tokyo sessions. That's Forex though.
You got to remember the most volume happens from 5 a.m. Eastern until probably around 11 o'clock Eastern. So we're in the sweet spot right now of that.
We're going to take out those highs on this crude. Want to, huh?
Maybe it's just interest rate sensitive. Like look at the chart of Visa. Guess it's because of the impending non-rate hike. Ain't no way they're gonna raise it in June. You kidding me? Because as we get closer to June and they keep saying they're going to raise rates, that this market will, what's the word I'm looking for? Crater? If they really are serious about it, this will go back down. Let's go to the daily.
Yep.
First stop is 2025 on the S&P. Kind of feels like that's all-time high. Double top, fail, break. I mean, it almost seems like it's going here in this move next week or so. And then they'll push out to September. Oh, yeah, never mind. We'll raise rates in September. And then the market bounces back up, and you've got your channel. Look at this channel, weekly channel, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for years.
Yeah.
Wake me up when that pattern breaks.
Oh man, you may be asleep as Dr. Spock. If he has me cryogenically frozen.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. Right now, we're below every band except the 4 hour, so it's tough. This knife catching this afternoon might be a little bit interesting.
Still not seeing the strength in this. I mean, granted, we're on the lower bands on both of these, but
I don't know why I'm trying to get the, trying to sign in. I'll just get it from your Skype.
Did you post that to the?
No, I'm gonna post it right now. This is open to everyone, right? Or no?
Yeah, just it's fine.
So what he's
posting in the room, in a half an hour, I'm going to be doing kind of a recap for the week for everybody. But everybody's more than welcome to come in on this one. I'm gonna go over some more advanced charting. We're going to go over some candles, pivots, question and answers. Anticipate training being about maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then Q&A for another 15 or 20 minutes, and then Dave, I'll let you know when to log back the room.
Okay.
So here comes the move. Gonna break those highs here on the crude at 16. We're doing a bet. Got some pretty good volume. I mean, there's 400 up right now on the contracts. What are you fired away at over there?
I'm trying to copy selection. What's going on?
I just heard a laser.
Oh, good.
Wasn't me.
It was me.
What are you buying over there? NASDAQ, S&P?
NASDAQ.
I like the S&P.
I don't see anything making new lows. I don't know. There's definitely. Let me post it as a question here in the question room. Send to all.
Yep.
Yeah, Hawaii is great for trading. Time. If you wanted to trade from Hawaii, that's perfect.
I did it for years. We would stay up all night, and then we would fall asleep on the beach. 11 o'clock when the market's closed.
I'm like, where's the little thing?
You're looking at the
I was a little late. I think it was. We'll see.
Yeah. It's trying to bottom.
What was that?
Laser.
Oh, I thought the NASDAQ moved so far it hit a stop or something.
Oh, nope.
Break even?
We're just going to go for 10 on this trade.
Might not even get it.
What's that?
Might not even get it. Did it hit or you got out early?
Oh, I hit.
Oh, so the 2-minute trade. That's so terrible.
2 minutes? That was like 1 minute. It's not my shortest, right? My shortest is what, 1.1 second?
Pretty much, yeah.
This is my shortest trade. So, yeah, you can see, I mean, that's just, you just chip, look for those little trades.
Wow, there goes the market.
Yep. So, all right, guys, we'll see you guys in half an hour.
Yes, sir. Thanks.